How we doing today, folks? I'm bringing you guys kind of a grassroots video today. This video is kind of like a tribute to one of my favorite channels, whom I've been watching again recently. Who actually started playing games again recently, and that's where the grassroots aspects of this come back. So I'm playing Skyrim because I just hadn't played it in a while. I kind of want to get back into it, and I really like Bethesda games, so I hopped right back into it. Started a new game, and I'm running SLI 970s and an i7 4770K. Now, obviously, those meet the requirements and exceed them, so I have it maxed out 1080p, and I'm getting some weird like artifacting. As you'll notice, one of the cows is actually glitching in the distance. It's just weird stuff, right? And it's also weird because it sounds like I'm in the water and just floating around, but I'm actually just running around a field. Opposite enough. So it got me back to thinking, do you remember ever just plugging a CD into your old computer, loading a game, and about 50% of the time you won't have a problem? Instead, I have go back to play a game and I have to deal with this.
I'm not even near the fucking water, man.
I'm not in the water, man. I don't know. It just don't make sense. So like I said, I was thinking, what if I built an old system and tried out that theory? Now, what was the Elder Scrolls of the 2000s? It was Oblivion. So I have an Oblivion disk, and I have a multitude of old computers. This is kind of a tribute to Greenham Gaming. This is the story of my Dimension E-521. So why did I pick my Dimension out of all the computers that I have? Well, it's kind of like the XP machine. I upgraded this thing when I first got it. I had an Athlon 64 single core weak sauce. So what did I do? I threw in an Athlon 64 times 2. It's got dual core now, not weak sauce. I'm talking 2.9 gigahertz. Came with 1 gigabyte of RAM, threw 3 in it because we're running 32-bit. And then I got a secondhand GTS 250 off of Letgo for $5. Sauced that puppy in there. So theoretically we should have the XP killer, right? Just a beast. So here's the story of me whipping together this machine. Now, I had already previously assembled the actual computer, but it didn't have a hard drive, so I had to throw a hard drive in it, as you'll see that here. Now, I originally had used this computer to play a few games, just kind of like tinkering around with it, but I never really did much. Now it actually is going to serve a purpose. This is going to be my Oblivion machine, because I've tried to play Oblivion on my new computers, and it's just a fucking nightmare. So that's why I picked this system. It's a Dimension. Come on. It ain't no Lumbridge. We don't have no Pentium D, but I think an Athlon 64 dual core is pretty good too. So, as you'll see here, I had to start off with loading on a copy of XP. I went and I had to I installed XP 3 times on this because I don't have an actual XP disk. So I installed Professional copy that I found and didn't have the right key. So I installed Home that I didn't need a key, but I powered it on, tried installing my drivers. To my knowledge, it doesn't have any service pack updates on it, so that was useless, couldn't do anything. So what did I do? Scoured the web, and the Dimension came with XP Media Center 2005. So from what I read online, we're at like service pack 2 or 3 on the disc that I downloaded. So I burned a CD, put the XP on it, and bada bing, bada boom, we got XP. Loaded in, perfectly fine. Everything runs even better. So then it was time to install the NVIDIA drivers. Easy money. So as a preliminary test, I wanted to install Unreal Tournament 2004. I installed it, and as you can see here, no bueno. it's giving me some kind of error for the disc. I really didn't even care at that point. I just wanted to try the Oblivion. I wanted to test my hypothesis. So I threw in the Oblivion and we started installing. And 20 minutes later, and a lot of hard drive screaming, we got it on there. And so I loaded up the game. And, well, I'm going to say my hypothesis was good, but it wasn't at the same time. Now, the game booted up super quick. It was super fast. It was running great. But when I actually was playing the game, as you can see here, the frame rate was great. Now, you can't see that on the camera, I guess. I'm recording on a garbage-ass Nokia. But when I was seeing, the frame rate was great, but once I started getting to the attacking and the combat, that's when things started to really fall apart for some reason. It would just stutter and lag and glitch and stop. Now, I tried cranking down the settings. I thought that might do something, but it still didn't do me anything. So I tried cranking the settings because I thought maybe the CPU was just bottlenecking somewhere. So that still didn't do me anything. It actually made it worse. Or no, when it ran maxed it. So when I maxed it out, it ran better than it did when I didn't max it out, which makes sense because the GPU is doing all the work, not the CPU. But when I had Task Manager running in the background, I couldn't see any spikes to 100, nothing like that. So I don't know. It's just might be a driver issue or something like that. But I think in the end I proved my hypothesis wrong. Kind of shot myself in the foot on this video, but figured I'd bring you along for the journey, and I'll leave you off with some combat gameplay if you like to watch.
Show me what you got. Boom!
Fucking me up, dude. Chill.
In the off chance if Tim James is watching this, I think we'll have to put Lumbridge and the E-521 up against each other sometime. Do a nice little comparison. Alright, thank you for watching again.